What's up, everybody? If you don't know me, my name is Nick Matsky. I'm a guitarist and a mixing and mastering engineer, and I've recently started mixing in Dolby Atmos. If you saw my previous Atmos video, which was my mix of the song Focus by Ariana Grande, first of all, thank you for checking that out. Today, I've got something that's a little different. This is not an Atmos mix, but this is more of a quick calibration file you can play on your Atmos system just to check some things like, are all your speakers plugged in? Are they assigned correctly? Are they at the correct volume? Are your subs turned on? Things like that. And this is just a quick minute and a half, 90-second video with the Dolby Atmos file attached, and it's got the renderer on screen. I'm going to go through and talk to you about what each of those things are. So this is something I've wanted to make as soon as I got into Atmos mixing, which was just like, what is something I can throw on real quick when I first fire up my theater or your home theater system, whatever, and just kind of make sure everything's working, run around the room, everything's all good to go, right? I don't know if you're like me, kind of like obsessive compulsive about like wanting to make sure everything's working. You get worried something got unplugged or whatever, something changed. This is just a quick thing, peace of mind, but also you can just kind of a quick dial in your system. This is not meant to be an actual calibration. For that, I would recommend getting something like this, which I'll talk about a little bit later. Let's talk about what is on this file. First of all, you want to know how to play it back, right? In my previous video, and I'll link it down below, I gave a much greater description about how to actually play this file back. All the methods I laid out worked well. One that I didn't talk about enough was using the Dolby Access app on a Windows PC. That is actually the easiest way to do it, because what you do is you install this Dolby Access app, right? You don't even have to really open it again. I thought you had to have it open, but really once you install it, anytime you open a Dolby Atmos file in Windows Media Player, it will play back in Atmos. And all you have to do is plug your laptop into your AVR. So if you have a Windows PC or laptop, I would recommend that. If you have a newer MacBook, the best way is AirPlay through an Apple TV. Otherwise, you can put the file on something like an NVIDIA Shield or Zedu or Arvolution player. You can use a 4K Blu-ray player that plays back these files. Unfortunately, the Panasonic one does not play these back, but if you have the Sony player like I have or the LG one, those can play it back. So those are all the different ways you can play back this file on your system. Now again, let's talk about what is on this file. When you first fire it up, the first 5 seconds, I just put noise coming out of the center plus just a little bit of LFE. If you got theater like me, or even on a TV, sometimes you switch over something, it takes a little to sync up and you've got a blank picture for whatever. So this is just kind of that 5 seconds while everything's kind of getting set up. Next thing is it will quickly jump around to all the speakers. Now this was mixed for 7.1.4, okay? You can use it if you've got a smaller system or a larger system. Obviously, if you have like a 916, there's not gonna be a thing for the front wides, okay? If you have something smaller, like a 512, this is a really good test for you because you're gonna see where if something was placed in the rear surround and you only have side surrounds, you're gonna see where is that sound for you. If you have a system that's different than 7.1.4, okay, and you need these types of tests that I have on here, whatever your speaker configuration again is, I would recommend getting this disc, okay? This is not an affiliate link. This is made by Technodad and Joe and Tell. Technodad, his name's Chana De Silva. He's a friend of mine. I just support their product. I think it's a really great thing. And you can get the disc or you can get the files. But this has every speaker layout you can imagine with all these tests and many more, okay? So anyways, first test is it's gonna quickly zip around to all 7 speakers. It's just a little guitar thing. It's actually from one of my songs called A Day's Journey. If you wanna go check it out, that would be great. Check it out on Spotify from my last album, Decennium. But it just quickly goes through, kind of, you'll see it on the renderer, zips around the room just to make sure all 7 of your speakers are on, right? Or it's not 7, all 11. I kept saying that. So it does the 7 bottom and then the 4 height. The next test I put on the screen, okay, let's wake up your subs. This is just a bass drop that gets lower and lower and lower. So number 1, again, it'll turn your subs on if that first thing at the beginning for whatever reason didn't, if they're in sleep. It will see how low your system can go. So you'll see on screen it starts out, the first one's around 100 and then drops down to 80, then it's like 80 to 60, then it's like 60 to 40, then it's like 40, bottoming all the way on down to 20 hertz. So if you've got a sub that can, or multiple subs that can play down to 20 hertz, you should hear that. Like if you don't hear the last bass drop, it doesn't mean you don't have a good system. It just means your subs can't play that low. But you can still have a great system, even if you only go down to like, 35, 40 hertz or whatever. It can still, hit pretty hard. Third thing is just a quick speaker ID. Again, this is just to make sure that everything is plugged into the right spot and going to the right places. So it's going to quickly go around the room. For example, I have an Anthem AVM70, and when you set it up default, it has the wides turned on. Now, even if you don't plug anything into the wides, you would think, I don't need to turn that off. I'm not using wides. Well, the problem is the receiver thinks you have wides, even if you don't have anything plugged into that. So when a sound would go through the wides, like on this disc, they have a 9 bed layer test. And when it goes to the wide, there would be nothing. Now, if you turn the wides off in the Anthem, and because I don't have wides, I have a 7.1.4 system, right? It will play the wide in between the left front and the left side surround. The last test is just a very, very quick level calibration. This is not meant to be perfect. This is just like if you want to pull out your phone and pull out the DB app, or whatever decibel meter app you have, and you just want to quickly confirm that everything is about where you set it, because it's only going to stay on each speaker for about 3-4 seconds and then move on. Basically what you do is, I have this instructions on there, but you would kind of set it so that the pink noise that you hear coming out of the left speaker, turn your receiver up till that reaches 75 dB, and then you can try and match every speaker around to that as it goes around. If you've never used a decibel meter before, they always say to put it to slow response and C weighting. Keep in mind, and I put this on the screen, the LFE is going to be about 10, to 15 dB hotter, depending on, how loud you crank your subs. Again, this is just meant to be a quick thing. If you want to get out the Cal mic and do it with that, but really it's more just pull out your phone. This is all just to verify. A lot of times, like literally before I watch just about any movie, I play this file, especially just the first half of it, just to like make sure all my speakers are plugged in and sub sounds good. Then we're good to go. Good to watch a movie. Don't have to worry about, hey, did the right speaker get unplugged somehow? Not that anything in your system should get unplugged, but I don't know. You just kind of worry about those things. So anyways, hope you enjoyed this. If you like this, the best thing you could do, of course, is, well, 2 things you could do. You, of course, subscribe, like the video. I'm going to have more Dolby Atmos content coming out. Please go check out my mix for Focus, which is more like a home theater demo than an actual music mix. So if you're really into home theater, that's going to be for you to check out. The other thing you can do, the biggest thing to support me is, and I know this is not necessarily to do with home theater, but if you go and listen to my original music, this channel is, half the time about guitar stuff, right? And that's what I do. I'm a full-time musician. So if you want to go check out any of my original music, just if you go and stream it, check out the videos, that would be great. That would mean the world to me. That is the best thing you can do to support, is just check out my original music. Even if you don't like it, just give it a try. So awesome. Thank you for sticking around, and be on the lookout. I'll have my next Atmos mix soon. I'm working on it right now. Should be another fun, home theater demo, but let me know how you enjoy this. And again, if you really want more things like this, much deeper dive, I would recommend doing this. Again, I'll put the link down. I'm not affiliated. John is a friend of mine, and I just really support these guys and really like this product. I think they did a really great job with this. And there's everything you could think you would need on here. So please go check this out. All right, y'all. See you next time.